In this video, you'll learn how to enter equipment timecards. You'll need to set up equipment items before you can track their time on a project. This was covered in an earlier video. When you enter equipment timecards, the system determines which rate to use for each entry based on how the equipment is set up. Each piece of equipment can have a default base cost rate and burden cost rate for runtime, idle time, and downtime. These default rates are used if the equipment does not also have applicable project-specific rates. The total cost rate, base plus burden, for runtime, idle, and downtime is used to calculate the cost budget impact for the time entered. Equipment can also be set up with bill rates, which are the rates used when costs are passed on to the project owner. These rates apply to prime invoices for cost plus prime contracts and cost plus prime change orders, and are used when you import equipment timecards into the invoice. Additionally, before you can enter equipment timecards, the project must be set up, and the prime contract must be approved with a status date. You must also have the project cost codes set up so you can select them on timecard entries. If the equipment time applies to a change order or work order, these must be approved as well. In this first example, we'll enter an equipment timecard manually, and we'll start from the project homepage. But you can also enter equipment timecards in the HR module in the left navigation, or through the Sage Construction Management mobile application. From the project homepage, click Time and Expenses. Next to Equipment Timecards, click the Actions button, and notice that you can enter timecards for a single piece of equipment either daily or weekly, or you can import from a spreadsheet. We'll first add a single timecard. In the timecard header area, select the date and the equipment item to which the timecard applies. Notice that you can create up to 5 entries, each with a different project, prime contract, job cost code, and billable status. You can select Copy Entry for Next, and then enter a number of days, if you want to create duplicates of this timecard for multiple days. The project is selected for you, and if the project has only one approved prime contract, that is also selected. If a change order or work order applies, select those. If some, but not all, of the time you'll enter is applicable to a change order or work order, create separate entries with and without the change order or work order selected. You must select a billable status for the entry, but this applies only if the prime contract is cost plus with or without GMP. For these contract types, approved timecard entries marked as billable can be imported into prime invoices. Unbillable and on-hold entries cannot be imported, nor can billable entries that have not yet been approved. For other contract types, you can leave the default selection. The default value for this field is billable. Select a job cost code for the entry. Enter the runtime, idle time, and downtime for each entry. The system uses the different rates on the equipment items setup to determine which to apply. We'll fill in a second column as well. Below the entries, you'll see a summary of entries that have already been made for reference. Click Add and New to add a new timecard, or Add and Close. In the Equipment Timecards list, a separate timecard is created for each of the 5 entry columns. Equipment timecards are always saved as approved, unlike labor timecards, and you cannot set them to pending. Any equipment timecard you save is available for import into cost plus prime invoices with or without GMP, as long as the time is marked as billable. In this first example, we initiated the timecard from the project homepage. You can also enter timecards from the equipment module. A third option is to enter equipment time as part of a field crew timecard, and you saw how to do this in an earlier video. In the Equipment module, click Equipment, and next to Equipment Timecards, you have the same options as you did on the Project Time and Expenses page. This time, let's add a timecard for multiple pieces of equipment. With this method, the project, prime contract, change order, and work order are selected in the header information, so all entries apply to the combination you enter here. You can make 3 entries, each with a different billable status and cost code. Select the equipment and enter the runtime, idle time, and downtime for each entry. When you're finished, click Add and Close. Finally, let's look at how to import equipment timecards. To find the spreadsheet template for importing equipment time, go to the Help Center and click Getting Started. Click the Import options from Microsoft Excel topic and scroll to Time and Miscellaneous Expenses to find the Equipment Timecards topic. You'll see the instructions, a link to a template, and a table showing the fields to use. When you've prepared your spreadsheet, to the right of Equipment Timecards, click the Actions button and select Import Equipment Timecards from Excel. Click Choose File and select the file to import. Again, equipment timecards are always set to Approved, and you cannot change them to Pending. In the Equipment Timecards list, select Multiple Timecards, and then select Choose Bulk Action. You have several actions you can take on all of the selected timecards, including copying them to a new date for multiple days if needed, updating the billable status, and resetting the rate with the latest information on the equipment item setup. We'll copy the timecards to a new date, and the date you enter must be in the past. Then click Save. Click one of the new timecards to adjust the hours as needed. And then click Save and Close. In this video, you learned how to enter equipment timecards.